Yo, what's up, guys? Listen, I just wanted to make this video. I had to make this video now. It's been bothering me all day. I got to get it off my chest. And then I saw, while I was waiting for to pick up my wife from work, Ricky for the win. I don't know, they used to be with Machinima, and now they have their own channel stuff because obviously Machinima went bankrupt or whatever. And so they did a thing about Brie Larson. You guys know about Brie Larson? She's the next, Captain Marvel. And, she had the whole thing about how she said she wanted more diversity with her, press junket. And she was only seeing white males doing the job. And then, like, Ricky for the win and those guys. That's the only guy I know his name. I think it's Ricky for the win. And they did a thing talking about how it's sort of misunderstood and like, oh wow, so what, more diversity and et cetera, et cetera. And I just thought to myself, I was thinking, man, I was like, man, equality and inclusivity right now is the exact opposite of what equality is. And it's also spelled into the whole thing because I just happened to see this Ari Shaffir. You know who Ari Shaffir is? He's like a best friend of Joe Rogan. He's a comedian, and he was being interviewed by Theon or whatever his name is, this like redneck comedian who's a funny guy. And he was saying about, he's tired of people talking about this, conspiracy with Jewish people, the conspiracy in Hollywood and how they control it all, and they're all working together and they're conspiring, some kind of freaking Illuminati Jewish freaking, I don't know, power team of some sort. And he said, it's not, it's all bullshit, man.
I mean, we don't hook each other up. Are you kidding me? Why do you think Jews are in Hollywood? Because we're fucking smart. That's the bottom line, you guys. Why do Jews do well? We're just genetically smarter than you. I'd love to give you another explanation for it. We take care of our kids, we value education, and we crush it financially. I don't know what to tell you. The only thing I can tell you with is you can use this as an example to better your own lives. That's as much as we can help you with. We're busy succeeding. Fuck off.
He's right. He's totally right. It's like, you know what, man? It's like, you see what inclusivity is. Like, oh, I'm tired of all these white males out there. Like, all these white males are, like the freaking CEOs, all the Fortune 500, and all, they're all the people in power and this, this kind of people. It's like, that's like complaining that it's like all black people in the NBA. That's what it's like. It's like your complaining is all black. We need more white freaking albino midgets in the NBA. It's not inclusive enough. We need more like skinny Asian gay dudes in the NBA. There's not enough. We don't have representation of gay people in the NBA. That's the kind of mentality we're thinking about. The reason why the NBA is full of 6'6", 6'8", big buff black guys is because they're the best basketball players in the world. And because of the best basketball players in the world, hey, surprise geniuses, they're in the NBA making all the money, and there's there are some white dudes in there. That's why there's no 5'4" Asians in the NBA, because they aren't good enough to make the NBA. And that's why almost all the doctors and all the people getting in medical school are freaking, a lot of the best doctors are Asian now and Jewish. You want a really good doctor? You know who you go to? You go to a Jewish guy. You know why? Because they had the highest requirements in order to even get into medical school. Because you know what? That's what equality really isn't about. That's what equality is trying to be. Those like, hey, you know what? Maybe if you were better at what you're doing, maybe the reason why there's certain people in certain positions throughout the world, maybe the reason why Brie Larson and all the freaking people at your press junket are white males is because they're the best at the job. Maybe they're the people who applied for the job. Maybe that's why there's all white males, is because that is the majority of the people who actually got that job, and they're there because they're the best at doing that job, or they're the only people that wanted to do that job. So obviously you're gonna have an uneven representation of a bunch of white males if that's the majority of the people who applied for the job. Just like in the NBA, it's all a bunch of big black buff guys, because you know why? Hey, like I said, big surprise here, they're the best basketball players in the world. That's why, like I said, I'm saying, there's not a 4'11" midget. Like, why isn't Kevin Hart in the NBA? Because he's a 5 foot black midget and he's not good at basketball. Not because of equality. Why are the Oscars so white? Why is the Oscars so white? Oscars too white, like 3 years ago. Because all the movies that year by any black people, anybody who wasn't white, sucked. It wasn't like some conspiracy against black people, folks. Hate to break it to you. This year, it was a bunch of black people. I mean, like, didn't the best movie of the year was like about a black dude? Wasn't the best actor a black guy? Okay, don't get me started on Black Panther. That movie sucked. Sorry, it wasn't even the best Marvel movie. The reasons why they got nominated is because they were black, because of equality. So what people think of equality and inclusivity is the exact opposite of what equality and inclusivity is. Let me use the example of Justin Trudeau, the amazing Prime Minister of Canada. He made his cabinet. So imagine like the Senate for Americans or whatever, and it's 50% women and it's 50% men that he elected. He can appoint that when he wins. It's not because those 50% women were better than the 50% men, or the 50% men were better than the other women. No, it's because, he said, it's 2018 or whatever the hell it was, 2017 when he got elected. It's time for change. It's time for equality. No, equality would be like whoever's best for the job gets the job. If it was 100% women and they were more qualified than everybody else, you know what? I have no problem. give the women the job. If it was all men, give them the job. If it was 4'11" pygmy dudes from the freaking middle of nowhere who just somehow were the most amazing politicians in the world, give them the job. It doesn't matter. Equality, inclusivity, you want real equality, you want real inclusivity, you want everyone to be fair, everyone to get everyone, equality, you want everyone to have the equal parts, everyone has an equal opportunity, everyone has equal shares, everyone gets, the same amount of stuff. You know what that's called? Communism. That's where that works. The whole Western democracy of capitalism is based upon competition. That's why you have what you have. Without competition, you don't have people rising to the top. You don't have, ingenuity. You don't have inventions. You don't have, the best working against other people to try to be the best, resulting in the best products for the people to have. You don't have the minds. If there wasn't competition, everybody would just be like a bunch of big blobs walking around. It's just stupid. So all this crap about inclusivity and equality is nothing more than just nonsense, because you know what? There's no more excuses anymore, man. If you aren't succeeding, it's not because of some kind of the patriarchy, the system's against you. That's a bunch of horse shit, dude. It's bullshit. It isn't that in any way whatsoever. It's because you're not good enough. You know what equality is? It's like a bunch of losers out here who aren't good enough to be able to, compete with the people who are winning. So they're trying to create some even playing field because they're like the last people picked. It's like when you're going to pick teams, like I pick him. Well, equality. We got to pick the one-legged midget over there to be on my basketball team because equality. Like that's what people want. It's like, sorry, you suck. You're not good enough. I apologize. I'm not, sorry, not sorry. That's the way the world works. There's winners, there's losers. That's how our society works. And the losers basically are trying to dictate, freaking policy to make it an even playing field. Like, no. That isn't that way. We're just going to turn into a bunch of just losers because we're picking a bunch of losers. Either you are the best or you try to be the best. And if you aren't, geez, sorry, there's garbage that needs to be picked up. And I know it's really tough and it's really, it's really sad, but listen, man, that's the way it is. This isn't freaking, Eastern Germany, 1950s. It just isn't. I mean, equality, inclusivity is nothing more than just basically the losers trying to freaking compete with the winners. And it isn't 1960s anymore in anywhere. Like, everyone has an equal shot. This whole thing about patriarchy and sexism and, oh my god, all the white males or whoever is in charge and they're just too powerful. Pretty much every main celebrity right now is black. Who's the richest athletes? Black people. I mean, of course the owners are white, but you know why? Because they're probably the best at business at that point. A lot of them are Jews, right? You know what? Why? Because those people, that kind of nationality, that gender, that race, they rise to the top of that. Why are all the best athletes black? Because the black people are the best athletes. That's just a fact, Jack. Sure, there's some great white dudes that can go out there and dunk and all that and whatnot, but majority black people are setting records across the board. You know what? There ain't enough white people in the NBA. You got to let me in, guys. You got to let me in because, you black people are dominating it. That's pretty much flip that around. Oh, these white people are dominating this. We got to get more freaking, minorities in there because they're dominating it. They're dominating it because they're better than other people at their job. That excuse of the whole freaking racism or whatever the hell it is that people think is going on ain't existing anymore. Black presidents, Oprah Winfrey, The Rock, some of the most high-paid comedians in the world are black. Some of the highest-paid celebrities in the world are black. The highest-paid athletes are black. The highest-paid actors, TV personalities are black. Some are, some aren't. Exactly. So stop it, drop it, tuck and roll, pick your game up. If you want to be a winner, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you can learn like Ari Shafir said, start focusing on family, start focusing on education and emphasizing those, and then that will lead to success. Not, forced equality nonsense. Man, I hit you with some truth bombs. Hope you enjoyed the video. I had to put it up. I just had to get off my chest. Thank you for listening to my rant. I made thoughts. If you're new here, subscribe. Appreciate always everyone's support. I'm not editing this. This is just, flying off the cuff. I'll see you next time. Stay black. White man, break it down. Dab on the haters.